I am a parent of 2 young men who went through public schools in New Orleans. And my children went to schools before the takeover of our public schools, and my last son went to a public school after the takeover. I have seen firsthand what privatizing public education can do, not only to our city, but to my own child. My son graduated in 2014 from a charter school in New Orleans. I did not want my child to go to a charter school. I wanted the choice of a neighborhood school. But because of charter schools, I could not have a neighborhood school. In New Orleans, we don't get assigned to any schools. We can't even choose the school in our neighborhood, even if we wanted it. We would have to go into a lottery. So my son didn't get into that lottery, and he had to take a city bus on the corner by a charter school to go across town to go to another charter school. So whose choice was this? It wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice. So when they tell you that this is about giving parents choices, what this does is take away our choices and put the choices into the hands of those who want to profit off of our public education. If you think this is about education, think again. This is about how we do democracy differently in communities of color. And if you think it's going to stay in communities of color, think again. We have people in other parts of Louisiana fighting off charter schools. They thought they were safe because they were not New Orleans. Nobody is safe when billionaires want to purchase your democratic voice. And billionaires are doing this all across the country. We didn't get a chance to fight back, but you have the opportunity to fight back. Fight back! We have their playbook. Here is their playbook. New Orleans style education reform, a guide for cities. We know how they do this, so we can beat them at their own game. We know that they will push out our most vulnerable children, our special needs children, our children who are dealing with juvenile justice issues. We know that because we have reports that talk about that. I have them right here in my hand. They will push those kids out early on to try to show that they have success with charter schools. They will. So I'm speaking directly to the parents who might put their children in charter schools. If you think that the prior system didn't serve your child, this charter school system will see your child as a liability, and they will push your child out and make you think it was your choice to choose a different school. Don't fall for the okie doke. They do not want to educate all children. This is not about education. This is about taking away your voice to control education in your community through a democratically elected board. Why would we let billionaires who didn't send their children to public schools convince us that they have the formula for success for the problems in public schools? This makes no sense. For the teachers, if you think that, oh, well, I'll just get a job at another school, think again. They do not want experienced, educated teachers. They want to import amateur teachers from the Teach for America program and other programs that they are creating right now to create low-cost education labor. They will decimate UTLA. They will decimate our communities. There is a huge price to pay in our communities when we have our teachers now barely making a living wage because they are now cheap labor coming in from alternative certification programs. Remember, this is not about education. We need all hands on deck. Yes, we have great leadership here at UTLA, but we need every teacher involved. We need all of our family members involved. This is the fight of our lives. This is the fight to be democratically governed when it comes to the most precious thing, educating our children. We will not allow the billionaires to educate our children in the way that they want to. We know what happens with businesses. You can't run public education like a business. Most businesses fail. These people people see this as, see our children in their failed schools as acceptable collateral damage. In the last 6 years, 7 charter schools in New Orleans have closed, displacing 1,700 children. After almost 10 years of having everything they said they wanted. They didn't want an elected school board, so in New Orleans they didn't have one. They didn't want a teachers union, so they didn't have one. The Recovery School District said they wanted the freedom to innovate. They've had that for the last 10 years. The Recovery School District in New Orleans is last in the state when it comes to graduation rates. Their ACT score is a 16.6 composite. Over the last 10 years, we have seen 26,000 young people between the ages of 16 and 24 get pushed out onto the streets with no job and no education. So stop this, whatever it takes, stop it.